to start here, getting things kicked off at 1:49. A really fun one between Jarod Verkleeren and Caleb Henson. Now, let's talk about Caleb Henson, another guy that has really jumped onto the scene for Virginia Tech. 18-3, and those 3 losses were against some pretty talented guys.
Yeah, a lot of those 18 wins are against really good guys as well. Freshmen don't normally do the things that he's doing, and I'm excited to see him go up against a seasoned veteran in Jarod Verkleeren tonight too.
Yeah, Verkleeren, a grad student, a transfer from Penn State. And here comes Caleb Henson. Really jumped out with such a crazy victory against Sammy Sasso to begin the year. And ever since then, it has been the Caleb Henson show at 1:49 for Virginia Tech.
He's been able to win incredibly big matches in tight ways. And here's Jarod Verkleeren going out right away with a nice little throw by, immediately throwing a leg in and coming out and throwing Mr. Henson a little bit of adversity. I'd say that was probably one of the quickest takedowns that he's given up this year.
Well, we talked with head coach of Virginia, Steve Garland. He made the joke that Verkleeren's married and has 4 kids, how long he's been around. And there is a little bit of a juxtaposition there between Verkleeren as well as Caleb Henson, the fact that there's a bit of an age gap there.
Yeah, I don't think Caleb has any kids either, not just yet. But he also, Coach Garland also mentioned that he needed Verkleeren to go out there and use his offense. And there we go, we see it right away. There's that knee in a pretty nifty spot. I'm sure some folks at home are grimacing at that, but a lot of action here so far. 1 minute into this first period.
Freshman from Georgia goes down to the mat for just a second.
Henson with that righty underhook. Verkleeren kind of draping over with that arm there. It's a nice little touch and go as he came out with the head inside single. Verkleeren wrapped over the top. There we back are on that knee. Verkleeren trying to pivot around. This looks a little stalematy here.
And you're right. No stalemate called. Both of them going back to neutral.
Henson does a great job with his hands. He's incredibly physical. When he makes contact with the head, right what you see there with that right hand, he'll hit you hard with that club and turn your whole body. Verkleeren, believe, has some Greco experience. I'm not sure to which degree if he was on a Greco team before in the past, but he can throw. He can go upper body. As you see, he's just draping over the top of those underhooks. He's not clearing. He's ready to wrestle there if needed.
Now, you talk about that Greco experience. How important is it in a match like this to have that sort of experience and moving into the ACC dual season?
Everything that you do really builds into what your wrestling style is going to be. So if you have any experience, whether it's in freestyle wrestling, Greco wrestling, or sumo, it doesn't matter. It's gonna carry over, and if it makes you confident in a certain area, then that's making you somewhat better, which is important. And also, I mean, Greco is one of those things that can really set you apart. If you can do big moves, kind of like what we just saw there, and there's another takedown from Jarod Verkleeren with just 20 seconds left here in the first period. A ride out would be huge for him here. Caleb looking like he's doing a pretty solid job of either forcing a stall call or getting this escape.
Whistle blows, and now a 4-1 lead for Verkleeren over the number 9 ranked Caleb Henson. So you can do anything here with just under 6 seconds left to go in the first period. Caution.
I believe the ref said it was his fault. I like when they do that, because they know if they kind of are like, all right, I can see how that messed you up a little bit. Big escape here, though, for Caleb Henson if he could get this.
So now they went to the table just to clarify something with the time, put it back to 5.9. Verkleeren going to hold on, potentially. Henson almost rolled out. That is it for the first period.
It's a big ride out.
Steve Garland at his alma mater in his 17th season as the Virginia head coach. He's won 2 ACC championships going back to 2010 and 2015. And we talked to him about this season. Another caution's called here on Verkleeren. We talked to him about this season with Virginia, and he was very honest with us in the fact that Virginia's gone through a lot of adversity as far as their injuries. And Coach Garland, a really charismatic guy, even talking about some of the stuff they've gone through, he said, "I'm almost an orthopedic surgeon at this point."
Yeah, he had mentioned Brian Courtney, one of those guys that inevitably his season had to kind of come to an end, and that was unexpected. But that is just the way that college wrestling goes, and I'm sure, coaching at UVA for 17 years, he has seen it happen before, but that's what great coaches and great leaders do. They find a way regardless of those circumstances. Henson working hard here on top with that ankle ride.
Both guys work to improve here.
Getting a little head lever going with that left arm. Could think strategy-wise here, trying to build up some riding time for if he's trying to put on a late time barrage of takedowns, get that riding time point. But also could be trying to take some juice out of Mr. Verkleeren or working for a turn. He's got a high thigh in now where it looks like a cross wrist. So he could be in position to find some near fall here.
Will he get it? Now Verkleeren rolls back down.
Keep it legal.
40 seconds left. Riding time at 50 seconds right now for Henson, down 3.
He's kind of got that shallow bar, and now he bails.
Still green.
25 seconds,
Still
over
green.
a minute of riding time
Still
for
green.
Henson. That could be big
Out of
later.
bounds.
And Henson will remain in control here with 23 seconds left to go. The second period of the first match.
Yeah, now Caleb's kind of put him himself in the position where it's much more ideal to get this ride out.
Henson has won 6 matches in a row. Trying to stay with that here.
This is a Navy ride situation here, something that he practices a lot. You're going to see him try and lift that leg with that left arm, and then he's going to try and tilt Verkleeren back with that right arm. But tough spot, tough position, but has him broken down, and it looks like he's going to be successful in this ride out here in the second period.
Rode him out the entire second period. So Tony Roby likely satisfied with that. Henson still down 3, but in his 6th season as the Virginia Tech head coach, trying to win another ACC dual title. Hokies did so a couple of years ago. And it is a bit of a tough situation when you think about, best case scenario, it could be a shared title. And I guess that's just going to leave it up to the tournament to decide who's the real winner of the ACC.
I didn't ask Tony myself how he felt about it, but knowing him for about a decade or so, I can tell you he's not the happiest about the fact that he's got to share it.
Stop.
Especially after such an electric team win where Virginia Tech took down NC State. Then the week after that, it was just deflation when Pittsburgh came in, a couple of shocking wins, and the Hokies were really flattened by the Panthers right here in Castle.
Yeah, it's high-level college wrestling is absolutely crazy, and that's why they call it March Madness, kind of taken away from college basketball a little bit, but the upsets come more and more when you got these really highly ranked teams and you throw them together and you see what happens.
Neutral.
Virginia Tech trying to start out with a victory here. Caleb Henson down 3, Verkleeren.
So Henson's in a position here now where he has riding time. So he technically has 2 points here. And if he's able to get a takedown, which he's very close to now.
Almost stuck him there, and there's 2. And some near fall points. Can he roll Verkleeren down for a pin? Big time takedown for the freshman.
Caleb Henson is absolute money when it comes to late match scenarios where he's either down, whether it's overtime, he can go and get it done. He has all the tools necessary, but most importantly, he has a strong mind and a strong will. He's a winner.
Stall, Ray. head, stalling. Ball, head
Riding
on the
time
mat,
clinched. Stalling called on Verkleeren.
Keep the bar legal. Keep the bar legal.
Caleb Henson trailed going into the second period. He rode out the entire second, and he sticks Verkleeren here with a big takedown. The freshman, iron will for such a young wrestler, and the Hokies start out well here with a big win by the young man from Georgia.
So Henson gets it on the single leg, goes upper body. Now put Verkleeren into a spot where he can either go big or he's pretty much given up that takedown. So you obviously saw what he chose there, and it wasn't necessarily the right call Caleb Henson was ready for. He was able to counter and find himself some back points. But that'll be a fun one to potentially rewatch here in a couple of weeks at the ACC Championships.